Every morning for thousands of years, ancient healers ate the same two things before any other food: raw garlic and raw honey. Not separately, together, combined in a specific way at a specific time before anything else had entered the body. Ancient Ayurvedic physicians called this combination the morning medicine. Ancient Egyptian healers prescribed it as a daily preparation for the blood and the vessels. Ancient Greek physicians, including Hippocrates himself, combined garlic and honey in what they called the Great Remedy, and ancient Arab medicine, specifically in the traditions codified by Ibn Sina, prescribed the garlic and honey combination as one of the most complete preventive medicines available to ordinary people. 4 separate ancient medical traditions, 4 different continents, 4 different eras of history, all arriving at the same morning combination. Today, I am going to tell you exactly what happens to your body when you eat raw garlic and raw honey together every morning. 7 specific things, each one confirmed by modern research, each one observed by ancient healers thousands of years before the science existed to explain it. Before the 7 things, we need to understand why the combination matters more than either ingredient alone. Garlic and honey do not simply add their benefits together, they multiply them. Honey acts as a bioenhancer, a substance that increases the absorption and bioavailability of the active compounds in garlic. Allicin, the primary medicinal compound in garlic, is water-soluble and begins to degrade rapidly once garlic is crushed. Raw honey contains specific enzymes and prebiotic fibers that stabilize allicin and carry it more efficiently into the bloodstream. At the same time, garlic enhances the antimicrobial properties of honey, making the combination significantly more effective against pathogens than honey alone. This synergy, where 2 natural medicines amplify each other's effects, is precisely why ancient healers combined them rather than prescribing them separately. The first thing that happens, your cardiovascular system begins to change. Within 30 minutes of consuming raw garlic, allicin stimulates the production of hydrogen sulfide in the arterial walls. Hydrogen sulfide relaxes the smooth muscle of the arteries, causing them to dilate and blood pressure to drop. Simultaneously, the polyphenols in raw honey reduce oxidative stress in the arterial lining, protecting the endothelium from the inflammatory damage that causes arteries to stiffen over time. Multiple clinical studies have shown that daily garlic consumption reduces systolic blood pressure by 8 to 10 millimeters of mercury in people with elevated pressure. Combined with honey's antioxidant protection of the arterial wall, the cardiovascular effect of the morning combination is greater than either ingredient produces alone. Ancient healers observed that patients who took the morning garlic and honey preparation consistently showed what they called a lighter pulse. Their description of reduced blood pressure and improved arterial flexibility. They did not know what hydrogen sulfide was. They simply watched what happened to their patients every morning for decades. The second thing that happens, your immune system activates. Garlic contains allicin, ajoine, and diallyl sulfides, compounds that increase the activity of natural killer cells and macrophages, the immune cells that identify and destroy pathogens and abnormal cells. Raw honey contains hydrogen peroxide, methyl glyoxal, and B-defensin 1, natural antimicrobial compounds that are active against bacteria, viruses, and fungi. Together, they create what modern immunology would describe as a dual pathway immune activation, stimulating both the innate immune response through honey's antimicrobial compounds and the adaptive immune response through garlic's lymphocyte activating compounds. Ancient healers prescribed this combination at the first sign of any infection, observing that patients who had been taking the morning preparation consistently recovered from illness faster and with fewer complications than those who had not. They called it keeping the body's soldiers ready. Modern immunology has confirmed that their metaphor was mechanistically accurate. The third thing that happens: your gut microbiome is nourished. Garlic is one of the most powerful prebiotic foods known, feeding the beneficial bacteria in the large intestine that produce short-chain fatty acids, regulate inflammation, and maintain the gut barrier that prevents pathogens from entering the bloodstream. Raw honey contains oligosaccharides, prebiotic carbohydrates that specifically feed Lactobacillus and Bifidobacterium species, the most beneficial families of gut bacteria. The prebiotic combination of garlic and honey in the morning, consumed on an empty stomach before any other food, reaches the large intestine with maximum potency because it has not been diluted or absorbed by the competing demands of digestion. Ancient Ayurvedic healers prescribed this combination specifically for what they called the strengthening of the digestive fire, their model of gut health, which they understood to be the foundation of all other health. They observed that patients who took the morning preparation consistently showed improvement in digestion, reduction in bloating, and what they described as clarity of the skin. The ancient observation of the gut-skin axis that modern gastroenterology has confirmed. The fourth thing that happens: inflammation throughout your body decreases. Garlic's thiosulfate compounds inhibit the COX and LOX inflammatory pathways simultaneously. Raw honey, specifically dark raw honey, contains chrysin, quercetin, and kaempferol, flavonoids that inhibit the NF-κB pathway, the master inflammatory transcription factor that drives chronic systemic inflammation at the cellular level. Together, they reach three separate inflammatory pathways: COX, LOX, and NF-κB, the same three pathways that thymoquinone in black seed oil reaches. The combination is a genuinely comprehensive natural anti-inflammatory that no single pharmaceutical anti-inflammatory can match in its breadth of mechanism. Ancient healers prescribed garlic and honey specifically for patients with joint pain, skin inflammation, and chronic respiratory conditions, observing the multi-system anti-inflammatory effect empirically across centuries of practice. The fifth thing that happens: your blood sugar stabilizes. This surprises people because honey is sweet and sweetness is associated with blood sugar spikes. But raw honey has a glycemic index significantly lower than refined sugar, and its fructose content is accompanied by enzymes, antioxidants, and minerals that moderate the glucose response. Combined with garlic, which independently improves insulin sensitivity and has been shown to reduce fasting blood glucose in clinical trials, the morning preparation produces a net blood sugar stabilizing effect rather than a destabilizing one. Ancient Ayurvedic healers were precise about this. They specified raw honey, never heated or processed, and they specified garlic crushed and rested before consumption. They observed that this combination in the morning reduced the excessive hunger and energy crashes that characterized the patients they called blood sugar unstable. Their clinical observation was accurate in every detail. The sixth thing that happens: your energy increases without stimulants. Raw honey is one of the most bioavailable sources of natural glucose and fructose available, absorbed rapidly into the bloodstream and converted directly into cellular energy. Garlic compounds improve mitochondrial function, the efficiency with which cells convert fuel into energy, meaning the energy from honey is used more completely and with less cellular waste. The result is an energy increase that ancient healers described as clean energy, distinct from the stimulant energy of caffeine or the sugar rush of processed sweets, which always end in a crash. The morning garlic and honey preparation provides sustained, even energy because the mitochondrial efficiency garlic produces makes every molecule of fuel go further. The seventh thing that happens: your body becomes more resistant to infection over time. This is the benefit that ancient healers valued most, and the one modern research has most thoroughly confirmed. Daily garlic and honey consumption does not simply fight individual infections. It restructures the body's baseline immune capacity, raising the threshold at which pathogens can establish themselves, reducing the frequency of illness and shortening recovery time when illness does occur. A study published in a major clinical journal followed participants who consumed garlic supplements daily over 12 weeks and found a 46% reduction in the incidence of the common cold compared to placebo. Other studies have found that raw honey reduces the duration of upper respiratory infections by an average of 2 days when taken at the onset of symptoms. Combined, as ancient healers always combined them, the effect on long-term immune resilience is the most compelling evidence for why every ancient medical tradition arrived at the same morning prescription. How to take it correctly: 1 to 2 raw garlic cloves, crushed or finely chopped. Left for 10 minutes after crushing, this allows the allicin to fully form, then combined with 1 teaspoon of raw dark honey. Eaten together on an empty stomach each morning before any other food or drink. Raw honey only, never heated or commercially processed honey. Heat destroys the enzymes, antimicrobial compounds, and prebiotic oligosaccharides that make honey medicinal. Commercial clear honey has been heated to extend shelf life. It is food, not medicine. The 10-minute rest after crushing the garlic is not optional. It is the mechanism. Without it, allicin does not fully form, and the cardiovascular and immune benefits are significantly reduced. Ancient healers did not take supplements. They did not follow complicated protocols. Every morning they crushed a clove of garlic, left it to rest, mixed it with honey, and ate it before the day began. 7 benefits, 2 ingredients, 1 minute of preparation, every morning, for thousands of years. If this found you at the right moment, share it with one person whose health you want to protect. The morning medicine has been waiting for them. Subscribe to Ancient Body Wisdom and come back every single week. There is so much more the healers knew, and we are only just beginning.